that was awfully impressive, John. What'd you think?
I think I just wet my pants.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of Living the Life with Frank, Freak of Nature Beasley. So this video will be the last of the pre-recorded stuff that you guys will be seeing, and every episode after this will be live. So here we go with the Memorial Cup Finals between the Everett Silvertips and the Saskatoon Blades. Going into the third period, it was a tied 1-1, but as you can see, Everett just scored there to make it a 2-1 game here. As we're playing the puck in our own zone with the third period here. Josh Winquist with a nice wrist shot on the net. Gets blocked away though. Winquist does get the puck back. Slow slap shot on the net. Goal as Everett takes a 3-1 lead here in the Memorial Cup Finals as Josh Winquist gets his second goal of the game as well. And just like that, Everett has a 3-1 lead here with about 10 minutes still left to play here in the Memorial Cup Finals. So Josh Winquist looking pretty good as scouts are projecting him to possibly go first overall in this year's draft. So here comes Frank here. Last couple seconds of the game, a nice wrist shot on the net, but blocked away by the goalie. Everett is working the puck around the back. Fortunately, does get cleared away. Nichols over to Craig. Frank does go back for a line change as the goalie is pulled here, but the last couple seconds of the game, Liedl gets this puck, shoots it on the net. Goal, 4-1 lead for Everett as they will pop. They more than likely, unless something strange happens here in 2 seconds, the Everett Silvertips will go on to win the Memorial Cup Finals, and they become the champions, winning 4-1 over the Saskatoon Blades as Frank Beasley's team wins the Memorial Cup as it makes his odds better going into this year's NHL draft. So here the Everett Silvertips are getting ready for their team photo before a lot of these guys will depart and go into the National Hockey League and go to their respective teams. But there was the picture. And before the draft started here, Frank Beasley was contacted by 3 very good NHL teams here. The Columbus Blue Jackets, the Edmonton Oilers, and the Montreal Canadiens. So as the scouts were saying, Frank Beasley was projected to go possibly a late round pick to maybe one of those teams, maybe late 20s or possibly even later in the second round or possibly early to late teens in the first round of the NHL entry draft. But nobody saw this coming, and Frank's entire life would change at this year's NHL draft. As you guys can see, Josh Winquist did go number 1 overall to the Colorado Avalanche. But that is not, that's great for Josh Winquist, but what we're here about today is to see how Frank's whole entire life would change. And that would change when the 24th pick and the NHL draft came along. Because at the number 24th pick, the Montreal Canadiens were up.
So the Montreal Canadiens, and here's GM Bob Gainey.
Le Club de hockey canadien, the Gillette families, les compagnies Molson, aimerait remercier la Ligue de hockey nationale pour leur travail et leur préparation aujourd'hui. We'd like to also thank the National Capital Region and His Honor the Mayor for welcoming us today and the hospitality that we've been shown. À nos partisans à Montréal et en Québec, merci pour votre support, merci pour votre patience. Les Canadiens seront là. Trevor Timmons will make our selection.
The Montreal Canadiens are proud to select from the WHL.
Frank Beasley. That is indeed right, my friends. Frank Beasley, the freak of nature, gets drafted 24th overall to the Montreal Canadiens. That is right. Frank has an amazing goaltender behind him. In Carey Price, gets to work with a lot of really good up-and-coming rookies for the Canadiens, such as Alex Galchenyuk and Brendan Gallagher. And you also have the reigning Norris Trophy winning defenseman PK Subban back there on the defensive core. So Frank Beasley gets drafted number 24th overall to the Montreal Canadiens. So he packs his bags from Everett because he is going to Montreal, everybody. So there is the second episode of the Live the Life series with Frank the Tank, Freak of Nature Beasley. Like I said before, guys, every episode coming up after this one will be live recorded, not like all these little clip shows put together. Everything will be live recorded. We will be taking it game by game and following the career of Frank Beasley. So thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know it's been a while since I put this Live the Life out because it's, like I said, it's a lot of stuff to edit, but it's also not the funnest thing, not the most fun thing to edit. But hopefully they'll be a little bit more interesting and a little bit easier to do now that we'll be doing live games for Living the Life of Frank Beasley. So that's it, guys. Stay tuned for when Frank Beasley starts his career as a member of the Montreal Canadiens.